Hi my friends, this is the next in my series of mini reviews of quick looks of some beautiful decks that have arrived that I wanted to share with you, but for which there have been many walkthroughs. I wanted to share my impressions and my thoughts. In some cases I'm a fan of the author and artist, in other cases I just really like the work and wanted to share it. So this would be the Living Wheel Astrology cards, and this is by our good friend Patrick, and the cards are gorgeous. This is one incredible piece of art. So I am only just at the beginning of exploring astrology. I have a few resources that are actually not even a few, I'm looking at them now. I've got actually a stack of resources that I've been exploring when I have time. I've got Benabel's course, I've got the Parker's astrology books, I've got a couple books that were recommended to me, and I've got time passages to cast charts. So I'm not, and I didn't feel sort of like I could do a whole review of this deck. All I could really do is talk about what an exceptional and beautiful thing it is. And I don't know how yet I will work with it, because again, this is new to me. So I did purchase the deck. I actually did not, I thought it had sold out. I didn't realize that he had copies of it. So this is still available. I think there was like a limited pre-order or something at the beginning of the launch. And I thought that was it, but it's not. So this deck is available. In fact, he just did an Instagram of the rose quartz that he's sending out with the deck if you want it. So this came with a piece of clear quartz. I did have to pay, I don't know, a couple dollars extra for it, but really, really beautiful. I love this sort of point that sits on top of this gorgeous box, beautiful box. And the cards, there's a little reference document and a little sort of accordion fold that gives you keywords for each of the planets, each of the signs, the houses, the seasons, and the phases of the moon. And then some things you can do with it. So you can use this as an oracle, and you can also use this to lay out your birth chart, which I have not yet done. I'll just sort of flip through the cards a little bit as I talk. I think the most impressive thing about this deck is the beauty of the art. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we get the planets and the asteroids. So there's an image of the planet and the sign. I believe that I had shuffled this. It's out of order. But what he did was this sort of gold, I guess it's not really gold leaf, it's sort of a gold paint, but it is like the cards themselves are not gilded, which I actually like, but you can see the gold in it. And the colors are really rich. There's something really simple and classic and beautiful about this. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen. I do have another astrology deck, which I shared on this channel, the Monty Farber Karma cards, which I think are really cute. I mean, that sounds so just diminishing, but I like them. But this is a little something else, and I think it's part study guide and part oracle deck and part intention setting tool, and it's really, I mean, look at that, come on, that's one of the nodes. I occasionally remember all the signs and planets by glyph, but I have been remiss in my studying. So the planets, phases of the moon are all here. One thing I really want to point out are the season cards. Oh, and it has matte gilding, which we all love, don't we? The signs I think are beautifully illustrated with the constellation. Oh my god, I'm so clumsy. Maybe this is in order, or in some degree of order. So those are the signs, the constellation I love. The houses are, I mean, this is just beautiful. You can see, even though the deck itself is not gilded, I have to stay in frame. You can see that the metallic is in the original painting or drawing. So those are the houses, and then the seasons are so beautifully illustrated, and the seasons are each divided into two, sort of the first half of the season and the second half of the season. And I love, this is my favorite one. I adore that so much. This one pretty good too. It's really beautiful. So I have not had a whole lot of time to sit with it and engage with it and figure out, you know, how I can work with it in my studies. But I think it's I think when you're learning something, it's really helpful to have really beautiful accoutrements, you know, to work with, so that you want to sit and work with them and play. And so that was why I decided to get this ultimately. You know, partly was to support Patrick, but really, you know, I can support it by just posting it on Instagram. You know, I like having lovely things when I'm learning something, because it makes us want to get in the sandbox. So love this whole set. I had initially intended to do this video and lay out my birth chart, but there's something weird about sharing my birth chart. I mean, I know that it's not like, it's not a privacy issue. It just sort of feels like, I don't know. So anyway, I have not clearly done that, but I could not recommend this as a work of art, as a study tool enough, and really just a gorgeous, gorgeous production. You know, attention to detail in these things, so key. And the size is great. It's like playing card size. So you can lay out your birth chart sort of like a Lenormand tableau and not have it take up the whole reading space or your altar or wherever you are. So to this, I say bravo, 2 thumbs up, gorgeous. And if you do order the deck, you have the opportunity to have a crystal from his crystal grid included. At the time I'm recording this now, it has moved from clear quartz for the launch to rose quartz for the spring equinox. So I should have done this a day early. I think he was including them automatically at that point. But you do have to pay a little bit extra, but you're going to do it anyway, so you might as well get both. So beautiful work. Cannot wait to explore this some more and dig more into the astrology books and classes that I'm exploring. Actually, if you have recommendations for astrology workshops that might be online, like if you know of anything, I feel like I need something to keep me accountable. Because if I leave myself to my own devices, I'll never get anywhere. And astrology is almost too overwhelming because there's so much to explore. So let me know if you have recommendations for things that can keep me learning. But this is one of those things. So again, the Living Wheel astrology cards, beautifully designed, beautifully packaged, beautifully constructed, gorgeous from soup to nuts. Bravo. Hope you like this.